How many people are reading the book about the whale ship Essex? Raise your hand up high so I can see how many. Good, a lot of you.
Did anyone who was here today read the book? Good, that's good.
You all read the book?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it was really good.
People were excited about it.
It was magnificent. I'm wild about whales.
Oh, throw the harpoon at me!
Okay.
I illustrate and write children's books. I think it's wonderful. I did a reading for it.
It's a very nice program. We're lucky we have something like that in town. Right, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Head off Old Martha's Vineyard, straight up the channel to New Bedford we'll go. Good singing.
I was one of the 2 people in town that originally went to a regional program about doing this kind of program in one's town. And after we came back with glowing reports about that, we did go forward with the process of selecting a book.
The original committee that came together over 2 years ago were Ginny Bowen from the high school as high school librarian and former library trustee, and Hillary Emerson Lay from the Spirit of 76 bookstore, Anne and I all kind of worked on the same idea at the same time, and it sort of came together from each of these directions all at once. So we added a couple more people, and we spent a summer reading a variety of books. And we then met in September to try to choose one of them, and that's actually how we came up with In the Heart of the Sea.
But I know I had a couple of families where, you know, I have a student who's a freshman and her older sister is a senior in one of my classes, and they had their parents read it and then sat around and had a full table discussion with the whole family doing it. And I think it's not too often anymore that families all eat dinner together, but let alone have all just read the same book and talk about it. And I think they found that fun.
One day I walked into a shop in town and people were talking about it and talking about the book and how they were reading at night to their kids at home and everything. And those were the moments that were golden for me, when I really saw people in town embracing this idea and bringing reading into their homes.
And that gave us a commonality with so many people, and it was great. All of the extensions, like the concerts and some of the speakers and the workshops we had, gave us a chance to see all of these people coming together and talking about the same thing. It was great.
We didn't want to just have book discussions. So we had musical programs, we had, philosophical discussions, we had film programs, we tried to draw in, we had art programs, we tried to draw the different aspects of the book in to appeal to people with different tastes and different interests. But my personal favorites were, there was an educator and performer, David Coffin, who came to the high school, and he did 2 back-to-back programs on maritime musical history, whaling songs, sea shanties, ballads, things like that. And the kids really got involved with it. I mean, he had students up on stage singing along, doing some of the, mimicking some of the physical work that the sail of the whalemen would have done. I just loved that program.
That if they didn't kiss the girls, their lips would grow all moldy. Way, all the way, Joe! But I'm not hearing you sing. Here we go. Turn the side tubes, hip to turn the side around. Boats willing and boats hover all around the circle. Now I know a lot of you are sitting there saying, I could do that. I'd like to see you try this when I'm done. Okay, here we go. I used to buy the sails, sir, and I used to buy the get the fish takes the ones that I used to turn the static tubes. I thought it was a great choice of reading material and a great town to do it. I mean, Marblehead's an old seagoing town, and I had a strong feeling that the town would really get on board. I think a lot of people would get into it. It's a good fit. It's a good fit, and I know the book, so it's a great book. For me as an artist, if I can add another dimension to what kids are studying, it's a very satisfying thing for me. If kids are reading a
a novel or a book about a particular incident in history, and if I can add the songs, it just brings it a little bit more to life and makes it a little bit more real, because these songs are real and they tell real stories. So I feel like I'm adding another dimension. It's very satisfying for me.
I think he really engaged people really well, which is what we hoped. And on the Sunday performance, he had his young daughter with him, and the two of them were just overwhelming together. So I think that, along with Nat Philbrick's visit, I think his talk was extremely good.
Yeah.
He was willing to do anything, get interviewed by anybody, sign anything, and that's perfect. That was just perfect.